Hi everyone. In today's session, we are going to break down steps 6 and 7 of Surya Namaskara, which is Ashtanga Namaskara and Bhujangasana or Cobra Pose. So let's get into it. In the previous session, we looked at plank pose. From plank pose, we bring the knees down and then we bring the chest down towards the ground. And then what I'm going to do is my hips are going to stay lifted and I can bring the chin on the ground, or in some schools, you bring the forehead on the ground. It's harder for me to talk in that position, so I'm going to release the posture and explain to you. You can keep the chin on the ground if it's more comfortable, but if you put the forehead on the ground, you bring the chin close to the chest, and that creates what's called Jalandhar Bandha. So it's a useful practice. If it's okay for you, comfortable for you, you can bring the forehead to the ground, but ultimately I'll leave the choice up to you. Let's go back to Ashtanga Namaskar, and what I'm going to show is how we typically slide forward. There are two ways you could do that. So I'm here. A lot of times people just bring the hips down and lift up. Instead of that, what I want you to do is you come into Ashtanga Namaskar, keep the toes where they are. Slide the body forward. Slide the upper body forward. One more time. If you are here, don't just release the toes and fall flop to the ground. What I want you to do is actively come down, slide forward with the upper body. So the toes stay where they are, you don't press them back. Now coming to Bhujangasana. Bhujangasana has many variations. First one is here. You lift the chest slightly off the floor. This is also super intense. You can try it with your hands off the mat. You engage the muscles at the back. Then is this one, which a lot of people tend to do, is lock the elbows. So once you lock the elbows, you're not really actively using your back muscles. You're more stretching passively stretching your hip flexors and also your back. But much more important than that is this Cobra Pose, wherein you are using the back muscles to lift up off the ground and using about 20% more effort by pressing the hands into the mat. Much better than this, which also creates this thing that's happening around my shoulders, where my shoulders have come all the way to my ears. I'd rather you drop the shoulders back and down, slightly bend the elbows, get a more comfortable, accessible position and start from there. One way to make Cobra a little more challenging is to draw the hands further back and then lift up. And then come down. Hands a little forward, lift up and down. So, avoid the locking action. It gives you a sense of having come really far off the ground into a very deep back bend, but it's not the most useful. It doesn't help you build strength in the back. All right, that's it for today. I will see you in the next session.